Oh my lord. Oh my lord. Ooh. Okay, okay. Alright. G'day fellas. Welcome to the second game in the series between RiotCoke, who's spawning in the north of the map, playing as the Japanese, and FitzBro, spawning in the south of the map, playing as the Swedes. What is going on when when FitzBro is playing the Swedes? You know that the world is just not the same place it used to be anymore. FitzBro, a huge proponent of hating on Swedes, thinking Swedes are the lamest thing since Lakota. I guess, I don't know. I don't know the best way to say that, but FitzBro definitely thinking that Sweden's a little bit lamer. I know he's not a big fan of Japan either, but great stuff to see that that FitzBro is expanding his pool of civilizations that he plays, and great stuff to see. He's actually doing really well in the early game, killing all of the bighorn sheep. I love this. One of the things on the map Kamchatka is that you start with these two herds of bighorns. So if we take a look over at RiotCoke, we see he's got one herd here and then two herds of bighorns. And they're only 3 each, and so they have the tendency to wander away. You can see just how quickly they're moving away from where they spawn around the town center. Now, in addition to that, there are goats in the center of the map. We see both players opting towards to move the middle of the map. Opting to move towards the middle of the map. There we go. I got that one out. And a 40 wood treasure here nearby. One of the goats being deleted by... I don't know which player deleted that, but... I don't actually know how FitzBro managed to get control of the goats here at all. I'd love to watch that again and see exactly what happened. I wasn't really paying attention. RiotCoke Smurf moving down towards the south of the map. Probably going to be looking to place a shrine down. We see that he does have that Portuguese consulate coming up with Portuguese allies right now as well. So probably going to be having a shrine drop down. But the issue is that there's no animals around. He's not really in position to do this. Let's see if he drops it down. He's got 112... wood in the bank, and now dropping down that shrine up in the north, so gonna be going idle here a little bit for RiotCoke. We'll take a look at the first card that comes in for him, and we'll do a deck inspect. Love to inspect a good deck. We'll take a look at his Heavenly Kami. It's gonna be the first card coming in for RiotCoke. We'll take a look, and his deck is called Yumi Yab. I love this strategy. So Yumi Yab, I'm a big fan of it. Definitely becoming more and more popular. The Yabusami. So the Yabusami being an age 3 Dragoon unit with a long range, a lot of upgrades as well, so 2 big upgrades for it, as well as a whole lot of other upgrades, so things like the Daimyo it can be buffed up by, it can be buffed up by the Shogun, it can be buffed up by the Golden Pavilion, which is a wonder for the Japanese players. Typically going to be using it in the, using it for getting to the 3rd age. RiotCoke now in the south of the map, in a bit of a difficult spot, I would say. Now, keep in mind, he's got the option of Divine Striking his opponent, just like that. And he's also got Freitag, who's going to be keeping him company, so shouldn't be having too much of an issue in dealing with these treasures. And we'll take a look over at FitzBro. We'll see what he's up to. So FitzBro looking pretty good. Going to be aging up with those villagers, but we see that FitzBro now moving towards the south, beginning to shoot these hunts. So my suspicion is, oh, actually, no, FitzBro did manage to kill the 2 bighorns. Where's that 3rd bighorn? There it goes. So the 3rd bighorn just running away. You just kill these things, all right? Just kill them. Just if you've got bighorns under your town center, just kill them straight away because they're so bloody annoying. They just walk off into nowhere, and now that food, that's 400 food, it just becomes, you know, it's nothingness. It's nothingness. And so we'll take a look at FitzBro's deck. We'll see what he's doing. Actually, FitzBro, you've got to be canceling that villager right there. You could have been aging up at 3 minutes and 5 seconds. Oh, he does it. He does it. He does it. He cancels right now. So there we go. We'll take a look at the deck of FitzBro, and FitzBro's deck looking quite nice, actually. I like this deck a lot. This is a really good deck, FitzBro. I am so impressed. You got a lot of good cards in here. You're not really missing anything. The only thing that you're really missing is Colonial Militia, but even then you don't need Colonial Militia. Like, maybe take out like the 600 wood, put in the Colonial Militia, but other than that, that is on point, mate. That is really, really nice. Yeah, no light gun carriages. You don't really need it. It's kind of fallen out of favor in the meta. You got the 2 falconets in there, 2 heavy cannons, the infinite 6 mams as well in the 4th age, and now you're going to be taking out this 80 coin treasure. So really, really nice play from FitzBro. FitzBro's been paying a lot of attention. Let's see if he does the right thing. So one of the things I want to see him do, I want to see him move 1 villager out to this coin mine. I want to see him move another villager out over here. There should be another coin mine in the fog of war. Here we go. This one right here. So that's what I want to see him do. I want to see him torp up this side of his opponent's map other than his own side. We'll see what he does. First villager going out. Oh, FitzBro, you love it. Where's that villager going? It's just moving over here. No villager moving up towards the north yet, but putting down torps in the base, so good stuff. We'll take a look at RiotCoke. We'll see what he's up to. He's got that second shipment in. Hasn't sent anything through just yet. Now, picking up the 75 wood, so not too bad at all. Going up with the Toshogu Shrine, as we would expect. Typically, players are going to opt for the Toshogu Shrine when they open with a consulate. And that's exactly what we've seen here. Going to be grabbing the market upgrades in transition. Something we don't see a lot of Swedish players do is grab a market during the transition phase. Japanese players are very different in that regard. And a fair few villages here on the Toshogu Shrine. So putting 2 villages on this. We take a look at RiotCoke. We see what he's up to. Sorry, FitzBro, rather. Going up with the Naturalist. So to be expected. Dropping down the cows outside the torp. So hopefully going to be deleting them. Wants to delete them right here. This is the primary spot for deleting cows. Going to be able to get all three of these torps, gathering up these cows right here. Explorer moving out along the south of the map. And we see torps going up for FitzBro. RiotCoke isn't able to scout this. Let's see. The line of sight changes when he ages up. So that's why he's got that additional line of sight now. So going to be able to spot that. FitzBro needs to be shooting this with his torp. Now, RiotCoke going to be going for a standard opening here. 600 wood. Probably into back-to-back 4 vills. So 4 vills. With the Japanese, you can send your 4 villager cards twice, as well as things like 5 Yumis and 5 Ashigarus. They can all be sent in twice from the home city. And going to be collecting a 40 wood treasure here. Keep in mind, there's still a 40 wood treasure in the middle of the map. Is there? No, there's not. FitzBro has taken it. So FitzBro definitely doing a pretty good job here of torping up as well. Got to be careful, though. One of the primary things is that if you put too many torps on a single coin mine, the Japanese player is going to walk down here, and he's gonna burn down your torps. But FitzBro doing a great job killing that caribou, so going to be able to collect it, gather it up with the torps now. So he's got 2 torps, going to be having that 3rd torp as well. We'll take a look at what his next shipment is. Probably going to be that Ironworks card. It is indeed Ironworks, so FitzBro has been paying great attention. Now, deleting both of the cows at the same time. Ideally, you want to just delete the one cow. Just delete the one cow underneath the torp, and then have all of them gather it. 5 Caroleans now coming out. We'll see where they're heading. It looks like they might be heading down towards this shrine, begin sieging it. FitzBro, oh my, look at this bighorn sheep. Please tell me this is the starting bighorn sheep. Your bighorn sheep that started in your town center. Look how far it has come. Look how far this has come. Don't tell me that hunts haven't changed in the definitive edition. This is disgusting, man. How is this bighorn sheep up here? And it's on the coin mine. It actually works out really well for Fitz. What the hell? That is insanity. Am I going crazy, or is it just me? Why is it so far away? You have literally migrated from Greece to Russia. Like, it is ridiculous. Like, we have gone so far out of Kamchatka now. You're now fighting on, like, the Isle of, what's that? Ibiza. You're over in Ibiza. Now going to be cleaning up one of the shrines. We'll take a look at RiotCoke's perspective. We'll see what shrining he's managed to be able to do on the map. Not a whole lot of shrining, doing some shrining closer to his base rather than shrining over on his opponent's side. There's a lot of nice hunts out here that he could be shrining up, shrining hunts in the middle of the map, shrining these hunts here. Could even be shrining, I suspect there's probably going to be a hunt right here. There's actually no hunt right there. Never mind. So could be shrining these hunts down here to the south, though. Really trying to lock them up and force his opponent to sort of burn down, siege those down. We actually see 600 coin coming out now for RiotCoke. So Riot going 600 wood, 4 villages, 600 coin. So potentially looking at doing some sort of semi-fast fortress. Very, very toxic. Now, just keep in mind, with this goat that moved up here, okay, even though I know that it's been quite a while that it's been up there, just think about the fact that it has actually migrated. It's taken 6 minutes to get up there. Is that not a far distance for that goat to be traveling, or that bighorn sheep to be traveling? It just seems like that's like 2 screens worth of distance that it's traveled. Like, that is just insane. Like, can you imagine if this hunt, which started off, or like your starting hunt here, like let's say this starting hunt underneath your town center, and you watched it and it migrated all the way down to here, and you're like, man, where's my hunt? Like, can we restart the game? I don't have a hunt. No, you had a hunt. It just walked away. And that's exactly what we saw happen with that bighorn sheep. So crazy stuff. Now, FitzBro's got a pretty decent mass right now. 19 Caroleans out. Going to be burning down these shrines in the middle of the map. A little bit of I guess a siege off This map is a little bit infamous, I would say, for... Well, not infamous, but just the way that players play it. It is it's a circular map. You can see it's a nice big circle. There's no real spots that you can't torp up or shrine up. So these two housing, how would I say, house booming civilizations are very popular because of the way that they can expand on this map. So that's why they've been picked up by both of the players. FitzBro now doing a nice job of starting to clean up these shrines on his side of the map. Beginning to siege down, and we see RiotCoke a little bit confused on exactly how he should be approaching this. We see that he's got the, I want to say, Bastiroys. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. I apologize if I am not. Mixed with just a couple Ashigaru, so definitely not playing the matchup in the way that I would be playing it. I would probably be focusing just a... What is that? Oh, it's like the front of the Tashogu Shrine. I'd definitely be focusing a little bit more on age 2 rather than going up to the third age. And we now see that RiotCoke is doing that, going up to the Golden Pavilion. So looking to take the game into the third age. Probably not advisable against Sweden. Once Sweden gets into the third age, and we do see that FitzBro not really thinking about it at the moment. Definitely something that he could be doing after sending in those blueberries. But once Sweden gets into the third age, it's all downhill from there for the Japanese player, because Karolians are just going to be very effective at dealing with the Ashigaru. Now, obviously, there's Yumi that are able to take out the Karolians, but then, you know, that's when the game really starts to develop. We start to see, you know, essentially once the game enters the mid game, you can't really stop Sweden from going age 4. And once Sweden gets age 4, well, that's pretty much it, because they can send Sphere Lifeguard. They get the Guard Karolian upgrades. You're talking about 55% HP, you know, 30% attack, range resist of 30%. So it gives a whole, you know, EHP essentially becomes like 160% at range. It's a huge amount of a buff. And FitzBro now sending in the team heavy infantry hit points. So 15% HP for Karolian. So they're going to take them up to 172 hit points. Doing a great job of scouting out as well. Look at this. FitzBro just, you know, really putting on quite a show for us today. We have a look back at RiotCoke's perspective, and we see that when it comes to the opposite side of the map, there's nothing over here. Ideally, as a Japanese player, you really want to just be shrining up your opponent's side, really getting some shrines out there, and RiotCoke demonstrating that, unfortunately, it's not the case. And now leather cannons coming out for FitzBro. Oh, FitzBro. Oh, you're doing it to me, mate. You're doing it to me. You're making Sweden look a little bit too good. So leather cannons are going to be pushing up. Now, keep in mind, leather cannons, low siege. They got high sound volume, low siege. So they sound really powerful when they fire, but they're not actually that strong. So do we see flaming arrows coming out here? I suspect we're going to see 2 flaming arrows. No, four Yabusamis. Wait, does he not have... He's got 2 flaming arrows in deck. Why doesn't he go flaming arrows? I don't know why he's not going flaming arrows here. So ideally, flaming arrows are going to be able to pick off these leather cannons very, very easily. And it's going to mean that there's not going to be too many issues for him. So we now see that the mass beginning to push forward for FitzBro. FitzBro going underneath the town center. I think FitzBro knows that there's a timing window here. The age up has happened. So it's only a matter of time until a shipment pops out of this town center. There's not going to be any other shipment points on the map for the Japanese player. We've got Minuteman being popped, but not at the same time as the shipment. We want to see everything coming in at the same time, ideally. We've got the leather cannon. Only a single leather cannon remains. The Yabusami going to pop out. They're probably going to be able to take out the leather cannon. Here they go. Leather cannon is down. Oh my god, the leather cannon basically just getting like 3-shotted by 3 Yabusami, or 1-shotted by 3 Yabusami. And now the Karolian charge coming out. It looks like FitzBro is actually going to be able to be, you know, not in a good position here. Ideally, what needs to happen is he needs to get his Karolians on top of these Yumi, but some decent micro coming out from RiotCoke. So maybe it's a RiotCoke Smurf. Maybe it's actually RiotCoke. And the Yabusami is now on the back line. 50% range resist. Ideally, he wants to have these up on the front line, tanking more damage from the Karolians. But the Yumi Archers are doing a great job. 15 Yumi Archers. We see 9 more Yumi Archers on the way for RiotCoke. And RiotCoke going to be able to put on quite a good hold now. Moving up towards the north of the map. Yabusami going down as well. A single Yabusami. Second one looks like it's going to be picked off. It does go down. Goes down. It goes down. And finally, the RiotCoke's almost run out of space. He just needs to keep microing, keep doing his best to kite. We've got Yumi Archers that have come down here, so he needs to get these Yumi Archers up over to the north. We've got Disciplined Yumi Archer coming in as well. Got to be careful of that Explorer. Explorer going into snare. FitzBro doing a great job with that Explorer. We take a look back at FitzBro's perspective. FitzBro sending in the 700 coin. Potentially going to be looking at getting an age up in queue here. And somehow RiotCoke has held, but he hasn't held. It's I don't know. It's a little bit of a curious predicament that he's in. FitzBro still managing to pull ahead, though. We take a look at the score. So about a 3K score lead for FitzBro at this point. And now we've got the Discipline Yumi out. So RiotCoke really got to be careful with his Yumi. Just got to pull them back. Want to see more walls. Want to see gates and Yumi. That's what I want to see from RiotCoke. RiotCoke in a difficult spot now. That age up timing, a little bit unfortunate. We see that 700 coin coming in. He doesn't have 600 coin in the deck, so can't be sending those two back to back. And now villagers potentially going to be going down here. Got to be careful. RiotCoke lost a lot of villagers in that first game. Doesn't want to lose any more villagers in the second game. Bringing those villagers into the town center, well controlled by RiotCoke. Villagers do not have their greatcoats. Only 150 HP for them, but FitzBro doing a great job. And RiotCoke putting out the Yumi onto the wrong side of the town center, and right as the Corollians enter into their charging phase. So unfortunate for him. Ideally, we want to see more walls up. I want to see walls out the back, walls out the side, walls everywhere, just so that RiotCoke is able to pass through. We take a look at RiotCoke. He's got a lot of idle villas at the moment. 27 villages idle, 31 villages idle, rather. I take that back. And not producing any units. FitzBro really looking like he's just really keeping RiotCoke just idle at the moment. Really just putting his head in the pavement and saying, "You will not smurf against me. You will not snipe me." You know, that's what he's doing right now. And it's a tough spot for RiotCoke because he's doing his best to try and hold on like he can. You can see that he's making Concha Yamabushi instead of the, what are the other ones called? Shinobi Imono, I think they're called. But managing to sort of get back now. Not really able to stabilize here. It's a bit of a tough spot. And now finally going to be able to I think he's stabilized up in the corner. Finally managing to get it out. So going way of the bow here. Does he have 7 vills in deck? He's got 7 vills in deck. Honestly, I'd be going 7 vills here. I think 7 vills is going to be much stronger here because you're going to be able to repel these Corollians. Corollians are out. And you're able to hold. So I think 7 vills is probably, even though it's greedy, it's the right option because you've held. And now going for Yabusami? Oh gosh, RiotCoke. We got to talk about your Yabusami timing, my friend. Maybe you could do like flaming arrows, but there's a distinct lack of walls here. Against Corollians, you're going to need a lot of walls just because they've got that charging ability. We take a look and we see more Yabusami down towards the south. Keep in mind, FitzBro is still in age 2, so not even like a slight smell of any like falconets coming in at this stage. So, you know, no falconets. There's no hussars that are coming in here, but you know, RiotCoke really wants to get these Yabusami in. He's sending in the second batch now, so he could have been sending in Corollians, or rather, could have been sending in Ashigaru. But imagine if he'd had 16 Ashigaru out instead of you know, 8 Yabusami. It would have been a whole different world for him. So I think at this stage, committing a little bit too early to the Yabusami. Typically, you want to wait for Yabusami upgrades before you commit it to them. And oh my lord, look at this mass from FitzBro. FitzBro, how many barracks do you have? FitzBro's got 4 barracks right now. 2 barracks in the middle, 2 barracks back at base. FitzBro going all in on age 2, sending in 8 pikes behind this. Doesn't even know what a stable is, and that's understandable because Sweden don't unlock the stable until the 4th age. FitzBro really just going ham right now, getting underneath that town center, saying, I'm going to stick it to the man. 35 villages, max torps, really just focusing down villages now, getting underneath that town center. Still got Yabusamis back here that are just, you know, 13 damage, absolutely no bonuses against the Corollian. So Corollian just going to be having a field day out here up against the Yabusami. Almost taking out the first one. First one now going down. More Yumi on the back line. We take a look over at RiotCoke. RiotCoke has only got 9 Yumi out right now. It just feels, it just doesn't feel the best, does it? It comes down to a lack of walls. It comes down to a lack of timing, and I think probably a lack of understanding about this matchup. It definitely seems like FitzBro's got a bit more of an understanding, knowing how when to push his timing. You can see all of his Corollians still in melee mode, forcing. This is one of the things that frustrates me a lot about when you micro in Age of Empires 3. You've got Corollians that are at the front running at like 1 movement speed, and Corollians at the back running at 4 movement speed. And you're just telling them to attack. That's all you want them to do, but they're just like, I am running at the speed of light. But they're not. They're literally crawling towards their opponent. Fitz doing a great job here. Looking like he's going to be focusing down that town center. The last remaining shipment point of RiotCoke. RiotCoke in a difficult spot here. We take a look over at FitzBro. We see what he's up to. He's literally just, he's committing so hard to the second age. I absolutely love it. So not even sending in 3 hussars. 3 hussars, he's probably not too useful. Where do we have those pikemen coming in just yet? Where are those pikemen? Pikemen in the middle of the map, burning down those shrines. FitzBro dropping down an artillery foundry, a 5th military production building for the game. So FitzBro doing quite well with Sweden. I'd have to double check how many points up the Sweden are. I think they might be a 2-point civilization now. But I would say when FitzBro pulls ahead by 7k score, it is indeed good game. Congratulations over to FitzBro, winning the second game and doing it with the Swedes. So I don't think I've ever seen FitzBro play the Swedes, but really putting on a show. Now let's take a look. I want to take a look at the resources gathered, but one thing I want to remind you before we look at it. FitzBro has been on 200 torp population the entire game. 16 minutes. RiotCoke's on 100 shrine pop. When realistically, he should be overpopping on shrines. So you can see he's only got 9 shrines. He should be on 200 or on 20 shrines. Let's take a look and see what the resource gathered difference is. There you go. So we can see just how close they were until, you know, FitzBro began sieging down shrines and taking map control. We'll take a look at the military unit population. We just see FitzBro miles ahead the entire game. A little bit of a scuffle, but very well played from FitzBro. So we can see that in the rules, the Swedes are worth 2 points. So that takes FitzBro up to 5 points now. So FitzBro not doing too bad at all. Shall we move on to the third game? What do you guys say?